What's going on, boys? My name is Sid, and this video is going to be nothing other than the full bulk information on car import. There's a bunch of interesting things like vanity items, performance parts, as well as cross-platform import. So this is just the video where I'm going to explain all of that. So head down there, subscribe, because one subscriber is winning a copy of the Crew Motorfest. But for every 10,000 milestone we hit to 100,000, we're going to give away an extra copy of Motorfest. So that's 5 copies in total. 70k is right around the corner. So make sure you subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe, because the more people subscribe, the more people win copies of the Crew Motorfest. So on that note, let's get into this, the collection import system. So, of course, you already know that on launch, the launch of the Crew 3, September 14th, or if you have the gold or Ultimate Edition, September 11th, that's when you're going to be able to import your cars, because that's when the game begins. Straight away, day one. However, we know that we're getting a new season that comes out on the 5th. By the way, my early access videos on that season are going to be out the 4th, so make sure you're there. I'm going to be streaming. But we are getting cars like the Audi RS3 and is it the RS7, or it's just like a really wide, it's a big old sedan, essentially. But we know we're getting those 2 cars. Anything after July 5th will not transfer on launch. So every car you own, every single car, that is going to transfer if it's before this coming season. All of the cars from this coming season, they are going to transfer December 13th, which is going to be September, October, November, December, 3 months after the second season of the Crew Motorfest. The season is going to be 4 months long, except for this one that's going to be 3. So you will eventually have every single car. And there's some interesting things that come with that as well. So, another big question is, what if you buy a new car? What if you don't own the Crew 2? Well, here's the crazy thing. If you make a Crew 2 account, on that same Ubisoft account, if you make a Crew 2 account, now every single car you get in the Crew 2 will instantly transfer the next time you go onto the Crew 3. That was the question. The question was, what happens if you get a new vehicle in the Crew 2? That's what happens. You get that vehicle instantly in the Crew 3. So Summit cars that you may not have yet, or anything that you don't have in the Crew yet, you can buy it in the Crew 2. Even if you're a completely new player, you can get the Crew 2 now, start getting cars, play Motorfest, and then go back to the Crew 2, get more cars, and then bring them into Motorfest, which is a crazy cool way of doing it. We don't actually know what it means by the highlighted vehicles yet, but these are the cars that are actually going to be in Motorfest, because not everything is going to carry over. So they've said some vehicles and brands and categories will not be included in Motorfest at launch. These include helicopters, jet sprints, and hovercrafts. Those 3 are not going to be in Motorfest, which I suppose makes sense, as those are 3 specs with not a single real brand vehicle. Yeah, I suppose that adds up. Not a single brand vehicle is in any of those specs, but they do say at launch. And a few car manufacturers. We are yet to see what car manufacturers those are. They'll be updated in the comments if I remember. So check the top comment for any updates on that. And finally, air race and aerobatics have been combined. So we no longer have 2 air race or 2 planes for air race and aerobatics. They're just planes now. So essentially, we know that that's going to be the case. So your planes will carry over. They've been merged, but none of your hovercrafts, helicopter, or jet sprint boats will carry over, as well as the few brands that are missing. It's only the cars that are in both games. And again, it's missing at launch, so there's a chance that when they come in later, you're able to import those cars from the Crew 2 once those brands come into the Crew 3 as well. And that's exactly what they've explained. Like how, yes, some cars won't be in launch because maybe they're Season 9 cars and they come later, or the car brand just isn't in Motorfest. Car licenses is always a tricky thing, so there's a chance we don't see some licenses return in Motorfest. They have confirmed that parts, your performance parts, will not transfer. However, they haven't said whether the parts system is the same as the Crew 2, which is something people have been wondering a lot. There will not be backwards car import, so it's only get a car in the Crew 2, goes to the Crew 3, not get it in the Crew 3, goes backwards into the Crew 2. Like I said before, It's available to anyone. You don't even have to have played the Crew 2 before. You can start playing Motorfest, get the Crew 2 after, and then import your cars as you buy them. You know what the wild thing in my head is with this? What if the best money method to buy cars in Motorfest is high-speed takedown? The cars have updating imports, so what if, you know, you play Motorfest and the Crew 2's on sale for like £2, right? What if the best way to buy cars in Motorfest is to go back, grind money in the Crew 2? It depends how hard money is to get in Motorfest. But what if the best way to grind cars is to go back, get cars in the Crew 2, and then just import them over? Because they're instant. So you can go on the Crew 2, get a car, and then next time you go onto Motorfest, you'll have that car. That's crazy to me because it opens up stuff like that. The best money method in Motorfest being in the Crew 2. And this is a really cool way of doing it. The games are connected. That's really cool. Okay, right. Collection import is on every platform. PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC, and PC of course being... Actually, I don't know. Was the Crew 2 on Steam? I actually don't know. I mean, I assume you still connect your Ubisoft account if you play on Steam, and it's not on Steam anymore, and if you get it on Epic, I assume it's still a Ubisoft account, so it's like, I assume it's connected to your Ubisoft, it is connected to your Ubisoft account. And here's one that blows my mind. The collection import is linked to players' Ubisoft Connect account. If you have the same Ubi Connect account on different platforms, not including Stadia, your collection will all be combined and imported to your new platform. For example, if you had the Crew 2 on Xbox and PC, and you're now switching to PlayStation 5, your collection from Xbox One and PC combined will import to PS5. That's wild to me. Because everyone who's been thinking about switching platforms, who has the Crew 2 on PS4, got a PC later, and now still doesn't want to play the game or had to buy it again, this is literally the perfect scenario. Because if people had to restart but are missing some Summit cars now on PC, or maybe they switched from Xbox to PlayStation and are missing Summit cars and have different collections, all of them are combined. Every single one is combined. You could have 5 cars on PC, 5 cars on PlayStation, different ones, and 5 different cars on Xbox, and as long as they're all on the same Ubisoft account, whichever platform you go to is now going to have all of those cars, the 15 cars, combined. So now people can finally buy the Crew Motorfest on whichever platform they want, and all their progression will carry over. I'm personally going to be switching my main account to PC, and keeping my Rookie to Icon 1000 account on PlayStation. But it doesn't really matter because I can't confirm this as far as I'm aware, but because it's combined import to whichever platform, I would assume there's cross-platform progression. But I don't know that for a fact. But because we've got stuff like the collection importing to all of the platforms from every platform, it only makes sense that you would also have cross-platform progression because it's the same Ubisoft account still. Next. Oh, and of course you will need a Ubisoft Connect account, I guess. That is a thing. Collection import is absolutely free. And something people have been wondering, you can import your cars later. So, you can play through the whole of the Crew Motorfest, get every buyable car, get every car that you can actually purchase, and then maybe you want to bring your Summit cars over. Finally, months, years after the game releases, then import your cars over. So, you can change your mind and later on. But if you've imported your collection, you can't unimport them. You will have to, once you import, you have your collection now. That's just how that's gonna work. But yes, that is every single bulk bit of information on the collection import. Nothing else you could need to know. Nothing else that could need to be explained. That was everything. We're talking cross-platform, we're talking importing it later, we're talking Vanity import, we're talking everything. So by the way, yeah, Vanities are importing as well. I don't know if I said that. Vanities are importing. They're again going to be the highlighted ones, which we don't know about yet, but we'll have to see which are the highlighted vehicles in Vanity. And we basically have it confirmed that 3 specs aren't going to be in the Crew Motorfest. Well, helicopter barely being a spec, but helicopter, jet sprint, and the other one, hovercraft. All 3 specs without a single licensed vehicle. They say at launch, but maybe we just don't have them in Motorfest at all, right? Ever. Because maybe they don't have a place. I don't know. Would you really want to keep jet sprint, hovercraft, helicopter? I don't know. But the brands, if we do see any brands missing, that's going to be just unfortunate. If we genuinely see brands, like full brands missing from Motorfest, that would be upsetting, to say the least. Oh well, though. But that's about it from me. Thank you to popular members, a special thank you to famous members, and an insane thank you to star members, Danimal the Manimal, Grim Pepper, and Mystic Ghost, and an insane top of the top thank you to Icon members, Bad at Games 02, Liam 2 Drip, and Void. That's about it from me, boys. In a